This is from page 13 of your Math Mechanic Fractions and Mixed Numbers tutorial. Converting fractions to percents. The procedures for converting a fraction to a percent are below. Step 1. Divide the fraction's numerator by the denominator. Step 2. Multiply the result of the division by 100. Step 3 comes in two parts depending on the circumstances or the instructions. Step 3 depends on the instructions given. Step 3a. If there is to be no decimal place, you will round to the nearest one. The other option is step 3b. If the percent is to include a decimal place, you will round the decimal up or down to the instructed decimal place. Step 4. Attach the percent sign at the end. Here is an example. We are going to convert 4/5 to a percent with no decimal place. No decimal place. Step 1. We're going to divide the numerator by the denominator. The numerator is 4, and the denominator is 5. So, dividing the numerator, which is 4, by the denominator, which is 5, equals 0.80. Step 2. Multiply the result of the division by 100. So the result of the division is 0.80. Therefore, we will multiply that by 100. 0.80 times 100 equals 80.0. Now we move on to step 3. The instructions say no decimal place. No decimal place. Therefore, we will perform step 3a. Step 3a. Since there will be no decimal place, 80 will be rounded to the nearest one. Since there will be no decimal place, 80 will be rounded to the nearest one. 80 rounded to the nearest one is 80. Step 4. Attach the percentage sign to the end. Attach the percent sign to the end. "80" now has a percentage sign at the end of it. Therefore, 4/5 converted to a percent is 80%. 4/5 converted to a percent is 80%. The next example is to convert the fraction 3/9 to a percent with one decimal place. Step 1. Divide the numerator by the denominator. the numerator is 3 and the denominator is 9. So we will divide the numerator, which is 3, by the denominator, which is 9. 3 divided by 9 gives us 0 point repeating decimal of 3. Step 2 is to multiply the result of the division by 100. So the result of the division is a 0 with a repeating decimal of 3. We will multiply that by 100. 0 with a repeating decimal of 3 times 100 equals 33 with a repeating decimal of 3. Now we move on to step 3. Since the instructions say to have one decimal place, since the instructions says to have one decimal place, we will perform step 3b. Since there will be one decimal place, 33 point repeating decimal of 3 will be rounded to the nearest tenth. 33 with a repeating decimal of 3 rounded to the nearest tenth is 33.3. Step 4 is to attach a percent sign to the end or at the end. Step 4 is to add a percent sign at the end or attach a percent sign at the end. So 3/9 converted to a percent is 33.3%. The next example is to convert the fraction 5/8 to a percent with 2 decimal places. Step 1 is to divide the numerator by the denominator. The numerator of 5/8 is 5. The denominator is 8. So we will divide the numerator, which is 5, by the denominator, which is 8. And that gives us a result of 0.625. Step 2 is to multiply the result of the division. Multiply the result of the division by 100. 0.625 times 100 equals 62.5. Next, we move on to step 3. Since there are to be 2 decimal places, we will perform instruction 3b. there will be 2 decimal places. So 62.5 will be rounded to the nearest hundredth. 62.5 rounded to the nearest hundredth is 62.50. Step 4. Add a percent sign at the end. 62.50 becomes 62.50% after the percent sign is attached at the end. 62.50 becomes 62.50% after the percent sign is attached to the end. So the answer is 5/8 converted to a percent is 62.50%. 5/8 converted to a percent is 62.50%.